Hello Virgo, and welcome to my channel Tarot by Gabrielle. This is going to be a general reading for Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus placements, looking at your connection between you and the person that you are dealing with and are needing to learn the most from right now. We'll be pulling for all three sides of the connection, so we're going to look at your energy toward it, their energy toward it, and the energy in between it, the concept being that there are three sides to every story. So we're looking at your version of the truth, their version of the truth, and this higher level unbiased truth in the middle. This middle section is looking at what is the deeper purpose of this connection and the best way for you to move forward in order to align further with your higher self. Friendly reminder that these are general readings and they are not here to resonate fully for everyone, and they won't resonate fully for everyone. So do please remember to take what does resonate and helps your personal situation and to leave what does not. On that note, the whole reading can be reversed, especially if you're a cross-watcher. Just know that that is totally fine and totally normal. Again, the point is to take what helps and leave what doesn't. Last thing is that any information on the extended reading or on booking a personal reading or coaching session with me is in the description box below. All right, Virgo, let's jump on in. We're going to start with overall energy through oracle cards first, and then we'll dive deeper into the story with tarot as we progress. So let's start with your side of this connection, Virgo. Quality time with deja vu. See, is there one more that we need? We have separation. Okay. So I feel like that you and this person have been stuck in some sort of cycle for a while. And I feel like it's one of like, it doesn't necessarily need to be like full-blown separation and then coming back together. Kind of like a breakups, makeups, or like distance, drawing back in. Like, so definitely this emotional roller coaster of we're out, we're in, we're out, we're in. And I feel like this energy that you have, like especially with this quality time card, I feel like you really value any time that you do get to spend with this person. So I feel like it's incredibly difficult and painful for you whenever you do go through kind of those phases of distance or separation. So I don't necessarily know like kind of what this is talking about yet, like in terms of like specifics, but I do definitely feel that, yeah, because then you had dream come true under that. So it's like dream come true and then separation, and dream come true and then separation. Like it's like that back and forth energy. This person's energy toward you, healing, a need for it, divine timing. So here's what's interesting about this, as this person, they have a need for healing here. And I get that because like the first thing that I was drawn to was how this part of the heart was like unfinished. And this divine timing card kind of feels a little bit like both divine timing and divine protection. So I do feel that there is a lot of potential in this connection and what it could be. Although I feel like this person's lack of healing, growth, working on themselves is the biggest factor that is keeping you guys stuck in this cycle that you're in. So I do feel like there is, it's understandable why like things keep kind of like why you keep getting drawn back in is, it's like, well, maybe this time will be different, or maybe that this time, things will be better. But then I feel like you kind of always end up in the same place with this person. And I feel like it's not a lack, because I feel like you've been really trying here. Truth of this connection between Virgo and this person. Truth of the connection between Virgo and this person. Trapped with mirroring. So you feel trapped in this cycle because I feel like there's so much potential that you see that it's really hard for you to let go of like what this could be and everything that This could provide you, if this person does kind of, if there is healing or if things eventually do come together in a healthy way. This mirroring card is definitely a message that there is a deeper, there's something that it's not all black and white, that there's more going on below the surface that is keeping this connection in this cycle. And I feel like the goal is to really dive into what that is, and ultimately what part of that is within your control. Because obviously, there's a lot that's out of our control in relationships, especially when it comes to how other people are going to act. But always drawing our attention and our focus back to what is within our control is where we can create the foundation for, healthy connections. But let's see what we've got. Overall theme of this for Virgo. It's like your souls are trapped in this cycle almost too. I feel like this could also definitely have kind of a spiritual association here, a spiritual connection of sorts. Overall theme of this reading for Virgo. You didn't mean it. You still miss me. So this person does and says certain things. Oh my gosh. Okay. And then you have trust the universe here. And then you have I am their light. Okay. So I feel like you see pretty clearly that this person does have a need for healing here. I feel like it's you can see straight through their behavior, because I feel like there's a lot of kind of understanding why they do certain things, especially if there's a lot of saying things that, again, maybe doing things they don't really mean, or saying things they don't really mean. I feel like you're oh, you're just doing that because there's this lack of healing, or I don't know. But at the same time, and then you have this I am their light card, because I feel like you want to really help this person maybe on their journey. But then at the same time, you have trust the universe, which is kind of, to me, calling to you to see, to let go a little bit and trust a little bit more. So I feel like there's a lot to unpack, because I feel like there's so many complicated energies at play here, because I feel like this person does some certain things to throw you guys into a separation or a distance of some sort, and then you're oh, I know they'll be back, or I know that they'll apologize, they'll come around, and I feel like that's the cycle you've been in. So let's see. Virgo side of this connection, deja vu with quality time. It's they do certain things and you're oh, here we go again. Literally deja vu. We've been here before. Virgo side of this connection, please. Six of Cups. So this connection has either, it feels very much like a, either this connection has been around with you for a really long time, or you felt like you knew this person instantly when you met. There's this sense of familiarity here, almost like you guys were destined to meet, your souls were destined to meet in a certain way. But then you have this Hermit with the Three of Pentacles, and I feel like it's the thing that's really complicated is you have this undeniable feeling, but yet no matter how long this has gone on or how hard you try, it just feels like the pieces never really seem to fall into place. You always kind of end up falling short of this connection growing into everything that it could be. And I feel like that has made it really difficult in a lot of ways, because you're but I know, I feel it. And so maybe you've kind of taken upon yourself to maybe help them in certain ways. Let's just get more here. The Sun in reverse. Yeah, because there is this lack of like you're not happy with how things are. Like I feel like there is this awareness that you're not in a place that you want to be when it comes to this connection. 3 of Wands, there's a lot of waiting. A lot of waiting for them to figure it out, to apologize, to come back, to, I don't know, just a lot of waiting. It's like you're stuck in maybe an energy of loneliness a lot of the time too in this connection, because I do feel like this person has a tendency to kind of be very in and out. And then there's the 9 of Cups. It's hard though, because I do feel like this person really does feel like a dream come true. Like, oh my gosh, this person has so many of the things that I desire. Like if this happened or that happened, then like things could be so good. Like if they healed, if they grew, if they evolved, things could be so good. But there's a lot of waiting here. And that's keeping you stuck in this cycle of waiting. It's like you're stuck in this cycle of waiting. Interesting. Okay. So I feel like I will understand a little bit more of what's going on here when I can see what their energy looks like. Because, you know, a lot of times I'm looking at this and it's very much a reaction to their energy. But if I'm not totally clear on what their energy is yet, then I don't have the full picture. So, which is the point of these readings. So let's see. Divine timing with healing. Eight of Wands in reverse. Oh, these are all, no, it's 8 of Wands upright, 8 of Pentacles in reverse, and then the 7 of Wands upright. King of Cups in reverse, 10 of Wands. This person is very, I'm getting this with the 8 of Wands energy, and then now even more so with the King of Cups in reverse kind of paired with that. They're very reactive. I feel like this person doesn't really think a lot of their decisions through. They kind of just like react in the moment and then regret later. And it's interesting because I feel like that regret is when, you know, either they come back or they say they're sorry, or maybe they don't say they're sorry, but they come back, or I don't know, whatever the cycle is. But it feels like it's a lot of like them kind of messing up and doing things from a very emotional place, and then you having to forgive them, let them back in, you know, create some sort of repair until it all kind of happens all over again. And I feel like you are very quick to forgive this person, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. Forgiveness is an absolutely wonderful, thing to do. But I feel like there's more to it, because the 8 of Pentacles in reverse is, to me, this energy of not really doing the work or not putting in the work, like a lack of effort that is needed. And it feels like there's, apologies, but there's never changed behavior. Or there's, a bid for forgiveness, but there's never actually changed behavior. Like there's never changed behavior. It's like they continue to do the same thing over and over again. Now, I feel like this is what you really know. They have this 10 of Wands. I feel like this person is carrying a lot from their past, maybe their childhood, past relationships. And I feel like there's a lot of insecurity and fear there. And that's a lot of how the place that they react from. Maybe some projection, and maybe some, allowing their triggers to really get the best of them. And I feel like you have a lot of empathy and understanding for that, which is why I feel like you have that, like, you didn't mean it, you still miss me, I am their light energy, is I feel like you're like, this isn't really about me, this is about them. But that doesn't mean it doesn't still affect you. Because with this Tower card, it feels like this person, it's like as soon as things start to build in this connection and get to a certain place, it's like they do something to cause it to come crashing down. And then again, there's this building, and then they do something to cause it to come crashing down again. And then the Seven of Wands energy, which is where things get really interesting, is this person is very stubborn. It's like they can recognize that their behavior isn't okay in hindsight, but then there's never actually any kind of like indication that they're going to make any change, because it's almost like, I don't know if they justify their own actions or what. But I do very much feel that the cycle here is you waiting on this behavior to change. So waiting on them to put in the effort, waiting on them to make, better decisions, not just for you, but for them too. And I think that is where there is a lot of healing, growth, and like this person has a lot of work to do on themselves, basically. And I feel like the ability for this connection to come together in a healthy way is going to 100% depend on whether or not this person does the work. Because if not, they're going to continuously be reactive. Healing is the result of overriding our unconscious patterns and instincts, which are usually very driven by trauma, fear, insecurity, with conscious decisions. So instead of, I'm going to sabotage this connection, or I'm going to react from an emotional place, I'm going to recognize that that's my instincts, and I'm going to make healthier decisions. I'm going to not do that. I'm going to not push Virgo away. I'm going to not sabotage the connection, or do things that would harm them or the connection. And that is something that I feel like this person lacks, which is, kind of it's emotional maturity, kind of coupled with the self-awareness that is needed to be able to do these things, which is a result of healing. So it's hard because you're put in this position of waiting for this person to make certain like better decisions, but yet there's no change behavior effort in making better decisions. There's a lot of like wanting to, but it's like they're trying in a lot of the wrong ways, because I feel like there is a need to really dive into whatever it is that they're holding on to that is really blocking them here from being able to be what it is that you ultimately need. And again, this is what is creating this cycle. So, I think that you see a lot of this and you want to help them with a lot of this because you do have a lot of love and care for them. But I feel like that is putting you in an unhealthy like position, because you're essentially being asked when it comes to this connection to wait for this person to get it together, and there's no guarantee that they will. Like, you're being asked by this person. It's like, so the question is like, is that really fair for you? Because I do feel that there is a need to really put an end to this cycle here, because this isn't fair for you. But I feel like it's not so easy, right? Like, there's more to it than that. And I think that that's where, a lot of times something that I've really learned is that everybody has potential. Everyone on this earth has the potential to be the best version of themselves, right? But not everybody is going to do the work to reach that potential, or to try to constantly show up as the best version of themselves, because it does require doing a lot of the uncomfortable work, facing emotions from the past, facing traumas, facing triggers, doing the deep self-reflection and being honest with yourself and how your actions affect other people. Like, these things are not fun, and it's certainly not easy, but it is necessary for anybody who would like to have and sustain healthy relationships. And I feel like that's where things get really hard, is you're like, but I know that they love me, and I know that they care about me, and I know they want to be with me. And those are, that's wonderful, but are they doing the work to get there? Are they actively making the changes that are needing to be made in order for you to have what it is that you ultimately deserve? Otherwise, you're going to find yourself in this place of trying to be the person that fixes them, that heals them, that saves them, that pulls them from their past and into their potential. And that isn't something that, first of all, you are going to be capable of doing. And second of all, something that is fair to you, because in the process of that, you are doing a lot of self-abandonment to try to make sure that this person is getting what they need. And I feel like that's where there's a need to really look at, with this mirroring, kind of like what is going on below the surface, because it does feel like there is a deeper purpose for this that runs below the surface of just like the cycle that's happening, because there's always a lesson associated with cycles. But if we're always looking at, what somebody else needs to do to break a cycle, we might be missing the point. So in between this connection, we're going to dive deeper into it, looking at the deeper purpose and the best way for you to move forward in alignment with your higher self. You have mirroring with trapped. I'm going to hop on over to the extended. Any information for that is in the description box below. Thank you so much, as always, Virgo, for your support of my channel. I do obviously hope that this reading helped and resonated with you in a way that you were needing today. And as always, I wish you nothing but love and healing and all of the wonderful things that you deserve and desire on your journey moving forward. All right, bye, Virgo.